WYMT Mountain News at 5:30.
Good evening, I'm Steve Hensley. The rain is almost over, but that does not mean we are out of the woods as far as minor flooding and mudslides. Chief Meteorologist Andrew Dockery begins our Severe Weather Alert Day coverage. Andrew?
Yeah, Steve, we're about 50-50 now with people seeing rain and now the rain moving through really the eastern portion of our viewing area. But like you said, it does not take much, and this heavier rain coming down now is what could be causing a few more issues in the aspect of some of those mudslides. Let's take a look at Pinpoint Doppler get started, and if you're coming home from work, maybe just got in the door, you are looking at rain down in eastern Kentucky all the way out into the Big Sandy area and down into southeastern Kentucky. Many reports of heavy rain in Harlan County, Letcher County. That continues to be the story even as you work into Floyd County. The past 3 hours, this cold front has been approaching very quickly to the east, and estimated rainfall, really the highest amounts coming in Knox, Whitley, and Bell County, at least radar estimates, with everyone else anywhere from ½ an inch to 1.5 inches. Now, that flash flood watch or that flood watch as well, depending on which one you look at, continues until this evening. We should see a lot of this begin to get canceled as we head into the next couple of hours and that rain moves through. Of course, Steve, we'll have a full look at what you can expect for the next couple of days coming up in a few short minutes.
All right, thank you, Andrew. When it rains like this, people living in areas prone to flooding already know to be on the lookout for high water. It's exactly the case for a community in Estill County along the Kentucky River. But officials there are warning people tonight, just because the rain is now moving out, it does not mean conditions automatically will return to normal. Meteorologist Adam Berniston explains.
We are a river community. Most of the areas that flood, the people are used to it. We're used to it.
After 2 to 3 inches of rain fell since this weekend on already saturated grounds, water levels along the Kentucky River near Ravenna are expected to rise into a minor flood stage. When this occurs, emergency managers say many low-lying roads become flooded enough to close them to traffic. But people in the community have learned to expect this throughout the year.
Most people have those routes when they know they have to go somewhere. They're planning ahead. They know that the river's possibly up and they may have to take another route.
Now, even though the rain is moving out of Estill County, the forecast for the Kentucky River here near Ravenna isn't expected to reach minor flood stage until Wednesday morning.
Just because the rain's over doesn't mean the hazard necessarily is. It takes time for the creeks and waterways to filter into the river, and then for it to filter out of Estill County. Plus, we have water coming to us from other counties, to the east of us.
And no matter what size of vehicle you're in, Riddle says it doesn't take much water to either stall your vehicle or sweep you away.
If there's water over a roadway, do not drive over it. Don't drive past the sign that a roadway is closed due to water. There's no reason for anyone to take a risk that could cost them their lives.
Adam Berniston, WYMT Mountain News.
A mudslide delayed travel today on a road in Floyd County. This is a picture of Kentucky 1428. Crews have spent a lot of time there during the past couple of weeks. Luckily, today it turned into only some minor cleanup. The road never closed, but flaggers helped direct traffic. The flooding led to a water rescue in Louisville this morning. Here's a look from the southeast side of the city. The driver realized they were in trouble just after 6 o'clock, and that road was closed for several hours. There was flooding in other counties along the Ohio River, too. Ohio State Highway Patrol say there may be a connection between a kidnapping and an officer-involved shooting near Louisville yesterday. Police say Ohio State University student Skylar Williams was taken at gunpoint at the Mansfield campus. That happened hours before a several county chase that ended in Oldham County. Witnesses reported seeing a woman inside the minivan. During the officer-involved shooting, both Williams and the man who allegedly took her, Tyrell Pounds, were killed. More food choices and more jobs. Officials in Perry County broke ground today on a Steak and Shake. WYMT's Will Puckett has more on the newest development at East Perry.
Delivering on a promise.
We tried it several years ago to get Steak and Shake here, and it didn't happen for us.
But this time around, it worked for Scott and Kim King.
We just think that this is the place of the future here.
Just across the street from Fazoli's and the Big Kahuna Car Wash, Steak and Shake will soon stand in an area that has the potential to be an economic driver.
This has increased the value of this property. We feel like Steak and Shake is a great addition to this property, and we feel like as other businesses look at this, and they're going to say, well, hey, there's a Fazoli's and a Steak and Shake there.
And Perry County Judge Executive Scott Alexander echoes that idea.
And I think within 10 years, you'll see this whole project out here developed.
Development, something hard to come by in recent years. But this project is delivering on promises and helps not only Perry County.
But also, it's good for employment in counties around us. Probably about 40% of our workforce comes from surrounding counties. So anytime that any county can benefit from it, it's huge here.
Now, who's ready for a steak burger? In Hazard, Will Puckett, WYMT Mountain News.
Me. Construction is set to get underway soon, and the restaurant should be open by mid to late June. President Trump says he's not happy about an immigration deal reached by a bipartisan group of lawmakers, but CBS News reports he is likely to sign off on the deal. Congressional sources say the bipartisan deal includes nearly $1.4 billion for physical barriers, including 55 miles of border fencing, but no wall. The president has been asking for $5.7 billion. A deal needs signed by Friday to avoid another government shutdown. On day 6 of deliberations, a federal jury reached a verdict in the trial of Joaquin El Chapo Guzman. They found him guilty on all charges for running a massive drug smuggling operation dating back to the 1980s. Prosecutors argued Guzman was the mastermind behind the Sinaloa drug cartel, a murderous multi-billion-dollar drug gang that trafficked cocaine, heroin, methamphetamine, and marijuana into the U.S. The acting administrator of the DEA took a tough stand following the verdict.
No matter who you are, or where you are located, or how powerful you become, the Drug Enforcement Administration will never stop, and you will answer for your crimes.
During the 3-month trial, more than 50 witnesses testified against the accused drug kingpin. Prosecutors expect he'll be sentenced to life without parole. One Pike Central High School student was born with a rare bone marrow failure disease. Now her only chance to live a normal life is to find a bone marrow match. WYMT's Marianne Fletcher talked to Shaylee Cobb and her mother about the importance of becoming a donor.
Fighting a 16-year battle, doctors diagnosed Shaylee Cobb with neutropenia at 8 months old.
She was septic. She was very sick.
Her mother, Bobby Muncie, says this rare bone marrow failure disease affects her white blood cells that fight off bacteria called neutrophils. 2 months ago, Shaylee found out she has ALL leukemia.
She just really needs somebody's help, anybody's.
Her friends Bailey Birchfield and Alexis Newsom at Pike Central High School hope to help her through the treatments.
We're really a family here at Pike Central, especially our FCA. We're all very close, and any way that we feel like we can help, we want to.
Right now, Shaylee is studying from her hospital bed, so she doesn't fall behind in her classes. Andrea and Jason Humphreys work at Pike Central. They say they are proud of their students.
She knows that she's loved by all of us here.
Bobby says there is only one cure for her daughter's disease.
Her only choice to be able to have a normal life is to get somebody, some stranger out there to get their bone marrow.
And she desperately needs to find a donor.
That will cure her of her cancer, and it will cure her of the neutropenia.
Searching for a match.
Really important. It's going to save my life.
In Pike County, Marianne Fletcher, WYMT Mountain News.
For more information on how you can become a donor, you can visit our website, WYMT.com. A report by 2 Texas newspapers shows more than 300 Southern Baptist leaders and volunteers have been accused of sexual misconduct in the past 20 years or so. Some are now calling on leaders in the Southern Baptist Convention to step up. Pastor Stephen Washburn is one of them. He says churches need to take responsibility and care for their members. He also says at his church, staff members and volunteers get a yearly background check. He also says pastors should be held to the highest standard.
We should be the example of how to live this life. And if we're not, we don't deserve to hold a position.
The newspapers say that of the accused, about 220 were either convicted of sex crimes or got plea deals. Coming up on Mountain News at 5:30, if you want to see some snow, you need to head to the Midwest and Northeast. We'll look at what people there are dealing with.
Well, no snow here. Temperatures in the upper 40s to lower 50s. And you'll notice we're going to be looking at a cool down as that cold front pushes through. We'll dry out this evening. We'll look at that coming up in 3 minutes.
And in our Money Watch report, a feature that vehicles in dozens of countries will soon be required to have.
When you see